Good afternoon, YouTubers, friends, followers, but mainly I'm saying good afternoon to those of you that have subscribed to this channel because you're the ones that support it and help it grow. Right. There's a subject which is on most people's minds. It's not necessarily in the forefront of what we do every day, but we are constantly reminded that the reason why our life is so hard right now, the reason why we're paying through the nose is because of Ukraine against war with Russia. That's what they constantly tell us, our politicians. But I don't understand why. Honestly, I've sat back, I speak to military people every day. I speak to defence analysis. I had a chat this morning with a good friend of mine who is in the know, who speaks to many generals. And I sit back and I give an honest opinion. And I sort of try and do a proper evaluation of what's going on. And I then give you the facts. Now, this isn't the facts because I don't like this or I don't want that. I am all for ending wars. Wars are not good. The only people that profit from a war, truthfully, are politicians. No one else profits from a war. Wars are terrible. People are misplaced. Millions of people die. Infrastructure is destroyed. Countries are completely annihilated. And other countries are then saturated by migrants and economic migrants and refugees because of politicians couldn't sit down around a table and fix things. So I've looked at what's going on at the minute. Now, I'm constantly seeing stories all the day about how the British Army, the recruitment is in the gutter. Nobody's joining up. We're also hearing, and this is from facts, by the way, that the veterans community is not doing well. Suicide. Now, I've seen loads of messages over the last couple of days from veterans that have been turned down through compensation and turned down through payments by Veterans UK. Veterans UK are an organisation that aren't there to support veterans. They are another branch of the Ministry of Defence. Their job is to save the government money. Their job is not to fix veterans. It's not. We put out this false pretense of a veterans minister, right? So we have this guy, Johnny Mercer, not his fault. He's the veterans minister. His job is to sort of champion veterans' rights, to get things done for veterans. But behind Johnny Mercer, he has a party which make it very difficult for him to get funds to fix veterans. Which again is another reason why I think, why is this happening? So the UK Veterans Affairs Office gets £5 million a year. Now, this is a government fault. I'm not blaming. But at the same time, economic migrants and asylum seekers get £7 million a day spent on them just to house them in hotels. Okay, now let's not blame one or the other. I'm just trying to point out facts. So at the minute, the British Army, the Ministry of Defence, have trained 10,000 Ukrainian soldiers here in the UK. We've trained them. We have thrown every resource we have had at them and we've made them a priority. I'm not just making this up. This came from the Defence Secretary, Ben Wallace. This came from the Prime Minister. This came from the old Prime Minister, Boris Johnson. Ukraine is our priority. So we're prioritising Ukrainians to train them up in war. At the same time, our recruitment is dropping. We are moving everything towards Ukraine. Now, you may ask yourself, why are we prioritising Ukraine over the British Army? That's a very good point. Currently, we have many Royal Navy warships in getting repair, not on the sea. Some of them had actually been given the task to patrol our borders that aren't doing it. They're currently sitting up in Lowestoft, yes, getting fixed, which means there's no one patrolling our borders. Now, at the same time, we were giving away Apaches to Ukraine, Challenger 2 tanks to Ukraine. We've lost all our heavy guns. It's been made public now that if we went to war against Russia, we would last a day on the battlefield with the amount of ammunition we have now because we've given it all away. Now, there's a reason. Now, there's other generals and other people sitting talking about why this is happening. Why are we giving everything away? Well, there's a possibility, and this has been looked at. Veterans, there's still many homeless veterans in the UK. Now, we know from proper reports and subject access requests that 10,000 service families complained to the Ministry of Defence that their houses were not fit for purpose. There was damp, there was leaking, there was moulding, loose tiles, doors don't shut properly, windows don't shut properly, seals are broken in windows, condensation building up. All these issues are happening with current serving families. But at the same time, we have Aldershot's MP Leo Doherty placing Ukrainian families into military accommodation. We have contractors currently working on empty military houses to bring them up to standard for Ukrainian families. But we're not doing the same for the British families, are we? Is this a way to destroy morale? Is this a way that we are trying to destroy morale so much that recruiting figures fall? Nobody wants to join up. We give away our ammunition. We're giving all our resources to Ukraine. We're housing Ukrainians here. We're actually flying Ukrainians from the battlefield to the United Kingdom, and we're putting them in our hospitals to get fixed by UK taxpayers' money. And yet many veterans can't get a hospital appointment. Why is this? Why are we constantly giving everything away while our British Armed Force is at the lowest it's ever been in the history of the army? Our Air Force have went woke, and there was loads of times now where they went, well, we don't want white pilots, trying to get the equality and diversity bracket. There's a reason behind this. I've sat down and I've spoken to many senior officers and many people that are analysts, and we've all come up with the same decision. We are of the opinion that the reason why the UK government is depleting our armed forces, the reason why morale is so low is because of how veterans are treated. The reason why we have nothing and we're giving everything to Ukraine is because we are trying to find a back avenue back into the European Union. We will be able to turn around in Parliament very soon and say, we have got no other option than to rejoin the military mobilisation unit in the EU because we need their armed forces. Because we, as politicians, have sat back and deliberately destroyed everything that the British Army has in order to push us back into the Union. Listen, people, thank you for watching. Thank you for giving me your time. If you haven't subscribed, why not? It's free. Take care.